weekly update number 33. And this week we're doing the video on the run. I'm actually in Cadiz, as you can see behind me. I'm actually in the central market as we speak, walking through, going to find myself somewhere to make the video. And we're going to talk about, as always, residency in Spain, visas. We're also going to talk about the YouTube comments, and we've got some interesting stuff coming up in our out and about in Spain section. So stick around and watch video update number, or weekly update even, number 33. So what has been happening with residencies in Spain? What have we been up to? What updates have we got? Well, first of all, I found myself a lovely spot to do the video, so I'm not moving from here. Incredible place, Hein, it really is. This is the cathedral just behind me. It's Saturday morning when we're recording this, 10 o'clock. Very, very relaxed. But anyway, we're going to talk about more about Spain in a minute. So let's talk about visas and residencies. Well, we haven't had any visas come through this week, so it's been a quiet week after that avalanche that we had last week. As I say, it's always very, very unpredictable when they're going to come out. There's so many different factors surrounding the visas coming out. So not only is it if they require more documentation once you've handed in your documents, it's the speed of the BLS office, it's also the speed of the consulate, then it's obviously the speed of immigration as well, you know, so... ¿Con permiso? Sí, sí, por favor. Muchas gracias.
Disculpa la interrupción.
No, no te preocupes, para nada. Me va a venir bien el café.
Y esto para aquí, caballero.
Muchas gracias. Gracias. My breakfast just arrived. I'm going to show you this incredible look. Actually, let's talk about that in the Spain section, shall we? So, anyway, so we haven't had any renewals in. As we were saying, the visas, there's an awful lot of factors that go into the time that it takes to get a visa. So if it's still below the 90 days, you shouldn't really worry. But yeah, this time of year, we would expect to go back to, you can't really ever be 100% sure, but going into autumn, we sort of go into what we call like a 6-8 format, really, where it's like 6 to 8 weeks to prepare your docs and 6 to 8 weeks for the visas to come out. That's more or less a structure you can think about working to, and I'm thinking of trying to expand that more for the winter applications, just to break it down into the various parts. But ultimately, once your visa is in with the BLS office, gone to the consulate, there's nothing you can do until they release it, especially if you under the 90 days, because they're going to give you the standard response of it hasn't been 90 days yet. All right, but we have had some renewals in. Now, they were for Malaga. Now, these renewals expired at the end of July, and they were submitted only a week before expiry. We do encourage, where possible, that people submit their renewals as early as possible, albeit because, again, immigration take a while to throw them out. And if your card expires, and you could find that you've got problems with the banks, maybe limiting your accounts until you get your new card. Well, this visa renewal, there's 2 of them, and this was in Malaga, and they expired at the end of July. We submitted them around mid-July, around the 16th, and they came out this week, and they took 52 days, which actually isn't too bad to come out. We jumped online straight away. We actually found appointments for next week for the Tom of the Way, but sadly clients can't make it, so we've jumped back on, and the appointments are running all the way at the end of October now. So we have this situation where, do we book the secure appointment at the end of October, or do we wait next week and see if we get any last minute appointments, which could happen? So it's always a juggle, it's always a bit of a game, but and we'll talk to our clients about it. This one we're going to manage. I think we're going to just keep checking the appointments. Ultimately, by the end of next week, if there isn't any appointments in the area, we're going to book the secure ones at the end of the month, which still seem to be available. Though Malaga do seem to randomly and sporadically book open up very close appointments, which brings me on to my next thing, which is the booking of appointments and what's happening with the fingerprint, what they call Tom of the Way to register your visa appointments. Well, we've seen an awful lot on social media about this, and we've had an awful lot of inquiries for the more difficult areas as well, and sadly we can't always help people because we're struggling with our clients to get appointments, and obviously they're our main focus. But areas like Almeria, again, just it's a joke, the amount of appointments they've got. I spoke to someone else who works in the same industry as us yesterday, and the same as us, they've got somebody constantly hitting the button. If it's not me, I might sit down and have an hour doing it, then it'll be someone else. And it's just a joke that they don't put on enough appointments for the amount of resolutions and approvals that they give out. To me, it's an easy calculation. It's we've approved 30,000, we need 30,000 appointments, maybe in a year, easy. But anyway, places like Malaga are getting better. They seem to be opening a lot of appointments. Alicante. Well, I woke up this morning to check, so I always check every morning and sporadically during the day, and I saw Elder had a number of appointments. Doesn't really fit our clients, but they do seem to be opening up, but very last minute. So last week we had some pop up for just 6 days time, and I had to book them all in and then phone the clients to confirm. Then the following week we got everybody in and they had their visas registered. Other areas, Murcia, in Spanish it's Murcia, we would call it. Generally tend to only do a once a month opening. And we managed to get onto that yesterday, and I say royal we. I was here in Cadiz on my laptop, Jane was at HQ, and what happened there was, there's people interested into our videos. We got them all. I can't believe it, but in Cartagena, a long list in importance. I went, right, let's go for it, and we got them all. So the wonders of a Google Live document where we can both see what we're all doing, and we're all hitting the appointments hard, and thank goodness we got all of our Mercia appointments. So we're very, very happy with that. Don't forget, getting the appointment isn't the only job. You've then got to make sure that the application forms are in place, the taxes are paid, all the correct documentation, inform the clients and make sure that our appointment representative can be there at the time. So all that work will happen next week, and they will undoubtedly get their visas registered at the appointment dates, which are running in October. And we also managed to run them suitably in October. book them suitably in October. So some we needed for the beginning, some we needed for the end, because people aren't arriving until mid-October, and we managed to get them all in. So I'm gonna take our hat off for doing that, to be honest with you, because it was a bit of a mission. Anyway, that's what's been happening with residencies, visas here in Spain. Now let's talk about our YouTube comments. So we're going on to our YouTube comments now, and I hope you can hear me because we've actually got a guided tour happening right behind me. I'm afraid I can't wait for it to finish, but it's a very good thing to do if you come here. I'm learning an awful lot just sat here. Been sat here listening for the last 5 minutes, but I thought I'd better crack on. Where were we? Okay, so as you can see, got my notes today. Not got the computer in front of me, so you have to excuse me for what I get wrong. But anyway, going to our YouTube comments. So Jerry Kelly, Jerry Kelly made a comment on our free. Last week we did a free toll roads video. I actually forgot about that. I'd recorded the video, and I was going through my photos to see what was interesting to talk about today. And because that's where a lot of the information comes, I just go around snapping stuff and think, that'd be cool to talk about. And then I realised I'd done the free toll video and taken some videos down the AP7, and he mentioned that in the Xenia in Alicante they're still charging people to use the motorways. So thanks for that, Jerry Kelly. I wasn't aware of that. I know when we hit the free toll road, we didn't pay a thing, and we managed to go from Malaga all the way to Castellón without paying any tolls, which would have cost us quite a bit of money back, or it will do in winter once they open them again. But check that video out, and there's also a link below to tell you which road is actually not a toll road. Shrody, you commented on our film stars, and you've got your pack now. So we sent out Shrody's Upsticks pack, so they've got that now. Good bit of reading. We send them out, don't forget, with UPS, so you get your folder. It's a little bit old school, I know, but we like to print all the documents, all your application forms, put them in a folder, send them out to you with an info booklet that we're constantly updating. All the time we're updating the book. Every time something changes, we update it. We were talking the other day, why don't we just print off 100 of these books at print shop? It'd be a lot cheaper than printing them every time in the office and actually making the books up. The reason we can't is because it's the ever changing requirements and stuff for the visas. So yeah, but you'll get one of those books from us if you take us on to help with your NLV. And Strody, tell us more about it if you found it interesting. And he said wet and windy in the UK, but got the Upsticks pack from UPS. That was on our Film Stars in Almeria video. Then Huggins, thanks for wearing the t-shirt project. We're going to get a t-shirt out to you there as soon as. And surprise, surprise, you'll find out next week, if you haven't already, about your appointment in Murcia, I believe. So there you go. You heard it here first. Where else do we have it? Oh yeah, Jerry Kelly, another comment on our vehicle reg. He says, bloody hell, why would anyone bother? This is true, okay? And to be honest with you, I mean, we do vehicle registrations and we help people with registrations, but we don't take all of them on, depending on where people are, if we can assist them in person, if they need assistance in person. But yeah, it is, since Brexit, it's quite a labour-intensive process if you bring a vehicle from outside the EU. Inside the EU, less so. But yeah, there's a lot of work involved. But don't forget, I mean, this video was basically to explain what the process actually was. But if you do come on board with us as a vehicle registration client, then the only thing you'll have to do is turn up at the ITV and send us the correct documents. Everything else we do. So we deal with the customs, we deal with the local town hall, we deal with the VGT, we deal with the ITV. What we can't do in some areas is actually book them. You have to go yourself with your own paperwork and book it, and we're handy on the phone. In Malaga, next to our office, we've got an ITV station and they fly through. So if you're in a different area, why don't you come to Malaga? Okay? Come and visit us if you fancy a vehicle registration. And then we've got the last thing is I wanted to talk to you about our 360 video. So I've got one 360 video at the moment, which is a walk down the centre of the Calle Marqués de Larios in Malaga, the most famous street in Malaga. Now, it is true, we're just learning what we're doing with a 360 camera at the moment. I haven't used it yet for any of the updates, and I've been struggling to use it on this trip, to be honest with you. But we're going to get more 360 videos out there to try and show people what it's actually like to be in places, in these most popular places, before you actually come to Spain. There's one very, very important point that both Neil and Robbo brought up on the video was that, the quality isn't that good. Now, the reason being is, and stick with me, is the 360 videos are published by YouTube in 360, but they automatically go to the auto quality setting, which means you'll see on 360 videos, there'll actually be a settings cog. You have to go to that settings cog, hit quality, and the best thing to do is hit 4K, and you'll see it's absolutely perfect. But it's an adjustment you have to make every time that you go into the video. So yeah, unfortunately, it's something I wasn't aware of. I do record them all in actually in 8K, and then they get reduced down to 4K by YouTube. It's an adventure that we're on, doing these 360 videos. I don't know where we're going to be taking them, really, or what really to do with them, but as I'm learning, I'm publishing at the same time. And it is just with a pure idea of showing people more of Spain, basically. So there we go, 360 videos. We're going to be publishing more, but don't forget to hit the cog and the quality, and suddenly boom, it'll pop up, it'll be perfect quality. You'll be able to move the video around and see all about. Okay then, right, so that's the YouTube channel spoken about. Let's talk about being out and about in Spain. So, out and about in Spain, I've finished my breakfast, and I thought I'd take you for a little walk while we're talking about this. So the cathedral's just behind me, just leaving that area now. I wanted to show you, it's just incredible, to be honest with you, this whole area. And just check this out first of all. So imagine we're on one of the main squares in the city. We've got the cathedral just behind me, the square, which was amazing. We've got a video coming out about the little trip. It's not that long. Actually, I didn't do too much recording, but we have got a few 360s coming out as well. But check this out, €5, 3 different types of breakfast sat on that square on a Saturday morning for €5. I got a fresh orange juice, a black coffee, and a croissant with jam and butter. You can also have a toast with tomato and oil, or you can have a mixed sandwich of ham and cheese. I mean, that's incredible. This city is just amazing. I think even in Malaga that would have been double if you're in the middle of Malaga for sure. But I thought what I'll do is walk up and just show you the beach, the sea, show you how close we are, what we're talking about, what's been happening. Well, first of all, we got this photo back from Victoria in Alicante. Check it out. This is Robbo finally getting his visas registered. Very quick appointment after his visa arriving in Spain. They came up last minute. It was all systems go. Phoned him up, said, "Are you ready for this?" He was like, "Yeah." Phoned up the rest of our clients who we've got last minute appointments for. Said, "Look, you're going to get your official email next week. Get yourself run over. And but can you make these?" Yep. We made it happen. So that's fantastic. Let's check out behind me here. Look at that. And so here we're on the beach. We're not actually on the beach yet. The beach is just around the corner. So where else were we? There we go. Yeah. And notes, terrible when I've got my notes. So anyway, what I was going to say also was there's two things I wanted to talk about. So there's Robbo's photos. Haven't got many photos for you today. Haven't taken that many this week. And partly because we're in that transition now where the kids are going back to school. It's the first week in September and the weather's changed. And it's just been a very busy time coming back off the back of August. It's just a crazy sort of period. And I'm quite looking forward to getting stuck into August, where autumn, where it sort of just chills out a little bit more, and we get more into a routine, because summer with the delays with the visas, sometimes it can be a pain, and you seem to get more of a routine in the autumn and the winter time, which is great. As I say, kids go back to school on the 10th, which is next Tuesday. They do give you the option when you take your kids to school that they can just take them in for a couple of hours for them to get ready, to get used to it, and then pick them up again. Why? I don't know. Mine will be there at 9 o'clock doing the full day. They're desperate to get back and see their mates. They certainly don't want to have any sort of inauguration day where they just spend 2 hours getting used to it, I can tell you now. So they may be on their own. Well, you've got to remember, if you do have kids in school, or you've got family who have got kids in school or thinking about bringing kids in school, they're heavy on the WhatsApp, and it's normally very last minute. You've got to be ready to organise yourself last minute with everything. So the paperwork's already gone in, obviously in June, to register them, which you do with digital signature online. Lara does all that for us. But when it comes to getting the books and everything else, you generally get a check actually from the government to help you with the books. That's for everybody, but it's all very last minute, and then the WhatsApp just goes mad. And the one thing that really annoys me, I'm going to have a rant now, is they let people comment. So because you've got 30, it's informative WhatsApp, which I don't believe you should let people comment on. It's just telling you what you need to do, and then people always say thank you, and the actual information then gets buried. And all the thank yous and all the love hearts and all the emojis. And that to me is just absolutely ridiculous. So anyway, that's my little rant that we're going to have about that. And I think I'll go this way, I can show you. Look at this Cadiz behind us, it's incredible. Okay, so there you go, kids going back to school. But if you have got kids and you're going to put them in school, be very, 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 very aware that you have to be attentive to your WhatsApp day and night the week before they go back to school, because most of the information will then get buried with people saying thank you for giving me the information. Run over. So the weather change, I just wanted to say, look, now, I mean, we're still shorts and t-shirt, but yesterday we sat out, it was 20 degrees at night time. My daughter said she was a little bit chilly, but she's very, very Spanish. Anything under 25 degrees she thinks cold. But it was lovely. The weather is absolutely fantastic at the moment. This is the right time of year if you fancy grabbing yourself a weekend out just after August, when the sun goes down slightly earlier in the evening and the weather's changed quite a bit. So I wanted to talk about where are we? This trip we're on now. really, and how people move in here, how you can do. I'm going to have another walk, I think, because people keep walking into me. And about having, so we decided this year, this is what I'm going to go take my notes and forget them now. We decided this year that we weren't going to have a big holiday, that we were just going to do a few weekends out and about and see some stuff. For two reasons. One was partly the cost, because if you go on a big holiday with kids in July and August, it costs a fortune, and I really don't want to spend an absolute fortune going to a packed hotel to queue up for breakfast in the morning when there's so many beautiful things to see in Spain. But then you've got to entertain the kids. The other option would be to actually get out of Spain, but that can be quite expensive as well. And why would you do that when there's got so much to see in this amazing country? So we decided, apart from the fact that we also wanted to explore a bit more and get more stuff for the YouTube videos, that we were going to have a couple of long weekends. Now, long weekends are great. I think it's become quite trendy, especially in Malaga, long weekends, because Malaga's become a city break. So city breaks are good, but it can be a little bit boring for kids. But if you're living here, why on earth would you go and do a huge holiday when there's so much to see? We've done a couple of city long weekends. So we did Murcia, Castellón, and we've just done Cadiz as well, and we've got one more planned before the end. And the first thing is, we found that 2 days isn't long enough. 3 nights is about the minimum that you need, I'd say. So that's arriving, you've got an evening, 2 full days, and then leaving the next day. So 2 nights is too short, to be honest. That's what we found, because you don't really get yourself into the groove. Hopefully driving isn't a problem for you, because Spain has the most fantastic road systems. You can just drive for hours and hours. It was 2.5 hours to get here to Cadiz from Malaga, and to be honest, it just went like that. Do an hour each driving, stop for a coffee on the way, and it's amazing. It's just non-stressful driving, and especially when we went to Castellón. So, if you are moving here, get planning these long weekends away. Now, if you're going to come to somewhere like a city to do a city break, definitely strongly recommend 2 things: that you book in the centre of the city and you find an underground car park and just dump your car and use public transport. Here in Cadiz, for example, there's no need. It's very small, so you can actually walk around everywhere. There's not even really the opportunity to get a taxi, to be honest, because the streets are so small and old, you wouldn't need to. It's circular, so you can actually cross it in about 15 minutes and then duck into the little areas that you want to go and see. But one of the main best bits of advice is have a plan. All right, because if you want to go and see as much as you can in your weekend, you've got to have a plan. Don't hit the ground running and go, right, what are we going to do now? Valencia seems a nice place to see. Do your YouTube research, maybe have a bit of a plan. I know you're there to enjoy yourself, but structure your trip so you know exactly, or more or less, where you're going to be. And that includes actually eating as well. Try and have a look at the best places to eat. It's nice just to have a walk down and grab something, but don't just go to this first restaurant, because as we found here in Cadiz, some places are extremely expensive or expensive, definitely aimed at tourists, and other places, like you've just seen there, my €5 breakfast in front of the cathedral, and a sneaky little bar that we found down the side of the market is absolutely amazing price for amazing food. So there we go. We're just talking about long weekends, going away. If you live here in Spain, if you've decided to move, it's such an amazing country to explore. It really is. Okay then, well, I think I've waffled on enough about long weekends going away. Hopefully you've seen, look at this behind me. There we go. You can't see the military boat actually, which is over there somewhere. And we will have update number 33 coming next week. Hopefully more visas will be out, so we didn't have any this week. We've also got 3 videos coming out about Cadiz, another learning curve. and part of the reason we decided to do long weekends was to get more information on the channel about out and about in Spain. We're going to continue obviously with all of our visa updates and more information about getting visas. That's the main focus of the channel. And thanks for watching, and check out next week's informative video in the middle of the week, which I'm not too sure which one it is that I'm publishing yet, but check it out. And next week's update, which is update number 34.